How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review, and we got Chucky. Say hi, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
If you ever watched any of our reviews, especially the first ones we ever put up, you would know Chuck because I first started doing beer reviews because Chuck got stuck in a snow ice storm in April.
Yeah, you know.
And
almost summer. It's typical.
Came to my house and we were like, "Fuck it," or sorry, fudge it, and let's do some beer reviews. So. He came up today and he had some mediocre beer laying around and he was like, "Why don't we drink this crap?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, dude, I'll drink it." So yeah, we're how long you been holding on to this one here? What do we got here?
About a year.
Parabola,
yeah.
2014 vintage, so it's probably earlier in the year.
Yeah, earlier in the year. I probably got it around February, so.
Which is kind of cool, come for full circle, because one of the reviews he did when we first started out was the Sukaba.
That's my baby.
That's his favorite.
That's awesome.
This is Firestone Walker's 2014 Parabola Vintage Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout. Now, barrel-aged, that's kind of generic, but with the way Firestone Walker does their stuff, who's to tell what kind of barrel it's been in, because it was like 8 billion barrels. Yeah. You said you've had this before, or no?
I have not had that one.
Okay. No. As far as what it says in the box, it says, since founding our brewery in 1996, we have specialized in the rare art of fermenting beer in oak barrels. In the fall of 2006, we embarked on a program to age barrels in vintage strong ales that would be later used as components as blended beer. The blend would become our first anniversary ale, which is 10. Which is kind of weird to wait that long to make an anniversary beer, 10? I don't know. Anyway, after release in 10, we released limited amounts of the component beers on draft only. Many of these beers gaining cult following that craft beers raved about and begged for us to put in a bottle. Parabola is one of those bottles. We present 2014 Vintage Parabola Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout. It has been said that the only constant is change, and the same is true for barrel-aged beers. Cut from a similar recipe, Parabola evolves and shows a different face each year, and as a result of time spent aging in the barrel. Chocolate, charred oak, vanilla, black cherry, coffee are all just some of the complex aromas, flavors you'll find in this beer. Parabola is one-of-a-kind sipping beer, built to last, and we reward careful aging for years to come. Ideal temperature of 45 degrees. I don't know, that seems kind of low. 45 is cold for me. But yours just a Firestone Walker's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're just a certified Firestone Walker junkie.
Yeah, I'm on the teat.
Yeah.
I'm always on the teat.
I think
they have one of the best barrel-aged programs there are. I mean, from the things that I've tasted so far. A lot of places do some barrel-aged stuff. It's pretty good, but I feel like everything I've had from that program that they have is pretty goddamn awesome. So that's why I'm on the tee.
I like it. There's dust on it. I did review 3 of their beers probably about a month ago. I did like their smaller beers. I did like not smaller but IPA stuff.
And stuff like that.
I did a Wookiee Jack. I did a double DBA and I did a double Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're more like their IPA line and that stuff. It's the super dry hopped IPA, which is just like not for me. Did you have any of those?
No. If it says IPA, I just think grass and grapefruits and IPA's yucky.
Pretty much. Well, there's some good ones. Kind of like,
so
I know,
there's like
slightly.
some.
For every one good IPA, there's 10,000 bad ones.
Yeah.
For every one good barrel-aged stout, there is like 100 bad ones. That's easier to weed through. Anyway, label-wise, Firestone Walker's labels are always awesome. They're like the classiest of classiest labels.
Can't get any cooler. Details. They're on there.
Yeah, aged 12 months, time in barrel. 82 IBU, but that doesn't say much as far as Imperial Stouts. I've had 100 IBU Imperial Stouts. You couldn't taste the hops in it at all. British Ale, color, yada yada yada. Barrel-aged Imperial Stout, and that's about it. You're not fooling around. I mean, there's a little story in the box to make you be like, ooh. And on the bottle, it's just like, drink me.
Yeah, it was funny. You were talking about on the box. It was like, you know, this big cult following. But do you think the cult following is because people think, oh, hey, this is fancy beer, I should drink it? Or do you think it's because this beer is pretty fucking good, and other people that like pretty fucking good beer talk about pretty fucking good beer to each other?
Do you think it's so what you're saying, is it a chicken or the egg thing? Is it a cult following because it's a fancy beer that everybody wants, or is it a cult following because it actually is a cult following, then it became a fancy beer that everybody wants?
I don't know.
Somewhere
There's only one way to find out, I think. So.
And that is to drink it.
Yeah.
So let's see. I mean, there's not much of a head there going on whatsoever. I mean, you expect that kind of stuff that's barrel-aged at the pooper.
Yeah.
Off-white head. Super, I mean, is it...
At least caramely kind of flavor there.
It's dark as could be. Dark as brown as could be. There's really no red to it.
Oh.
It's got, like... The
smell.
Crazy Legs.
Yeah.
Crazy Legs Johnson. It's like, looks like liquor on the side of that glass.
The smell is.
That smells good, man.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this.
You can smell a ton of oak if you get in there and hop on it.
It might be part of the original 556 barrels of Firestone Walker Barrel program.
Well, that's the thing. If it was this barrel, that barrel, whether it's bourbon or whatever, there's definitely oak in there. You can smell the bourbon. Just tons of sugar, molasses, dark chocolate, a little bit of vanilla. Just smells awesome.
Well,
awesome enough.
Let's see if this is cult following or not.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's boozy.
I like boozy.
It's good. It's a little bit boozy. I mean, it's 2014. Typically, they're meant to sit around for a bit, so there's a bit of booziness here. Ton of coffee. I'm
definitely,
getting a crazy amount of coffee.
A lot of roast.
Mm-hmm. Roasted malts coffee.
It's not the typical Imperial Stout that you hear about. It's definitely a little bit different and more complex.
It's more Russian Imperial Stout than like American Stout.
Right.
Imperial Stout.
Yeah.
And then it's got that nice coffiness to it, chocolate, like a little bit of caramelly toffiness to it. Mouth feels cool. It's not super thick, but it's nice. It's really good. It's definitely. I mean, they said it's a sipping beer. Yeah, you're not chugging this sucker.
Yeah, nope, not gonna happen.
I can see kind of what if you're gonna sip it, they probably want you at 45 degrees. That way, it just gains in temperature.
Right.
So it kind of like gets more and more complex as it opens up. But it's a really good beer. The only thing I knock on is it's a little bit powerful, a little bit boozy. What was the ABV on it?
It doesn't. It definitely, like, as far as ratio of balancing out, I think the booze is way heavy.
Yeah.
You have this awesome flavor, and then it's booze smothering the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's not off-putting, but it's there. You know what I mean? Enough to let you know it's there. But sometimes a lot of booze isn't a bad thing, because then you have, like, it's 14% alcohol. Like, a lot of, like, some beers that are 14% alcohol that don't taste the booze at all, you're like, oh, this is great. And you're like, glug, 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 and then you're like, what happened?
You're in the danger zone.
Yeah,
for sure.
But no, it's really nice.
It's
I don't know, man. I don't know what else to say other than it's pretty badass. I'd love to taste one that would be about like 2 to 3 years old to see what the difference would be.
So I might have to save the other one I have, if I could possibly do that.
If that's a big if.
We'll try.
Or you can
Maybe
just
we'll
try to
see
find
in a couple of years.
Try to find somewhere. Yeah, so ton of coffee, chocolate, caramelly toffiness, a little bit of vanilla, and a lot of roastiness. Yeah. Rating wise, I'd give it like a 95.
Yeah.
It's just that good.
For the style that it is, I mean, it's pretty goddamn good. Aside from the booziness, I mean, that doesn't deter me that bad because I'm a raging alcoholic. So the flavor is still there. It's an amazing flavor. It's super complex. Throw the booziness on top of it. I think that's the only thing that brings it down from being really, really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, so 95 overall for me. I mean, availability and value. I always do the whole availability value thing.
It's tough to find.
You really can't find it. So availability is like a 1 or a 2.
Yeah,
and then value, do you remember how much you paid for that?
$20 or $30. Somewhere in between there. I think I traded some things. So
yeah, so I mean, at $20, it's not too shabby because it's $6.50. It's not a $7.50. So at $20, you're probably talking a value scale of like a 7. If it's $30, you're probably looking at a 5. But I mean, it's a great beer. So
yeah,
if you can get it and you're a fan of the style, if you're a fan of Imperial Stouts, more Russian Imperial Stouts, or you're a fan of good beer or barrel-aged stouts or malt bombs or coffee or anything good, you should give it a whirl.
Yeah, I agree. I dig it.
Awesome.
Cool.
Another review in the books. Matt with Master Beer Reviews. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Say hi to Chuck. Say bye to Chuck.
Bye to Chuck.
There you go. If you like to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're more active on Instagram, so if you're going to check us out anywhere, check us out there. And yeah, another one down. So
that's it.
Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're drinking an awesome beer. And hopefully you see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.